Today I wanted to talk about a question that I get asked very often as a mindset coach, especially as a mindset coach that focuses on creating a more positive and happy mindset. And that is, how do you not get bothered by negativity? How do you not let negativity take your happiness and positive mindset away? How do you not let negative things affect you? So today we're going to dive into it. Welcome to the Living My 2.0 YouTube channel. My name is Julia and I'm a happiness mindset coach, and I help women who are struggling with chronic stress and negative thinking overcome that and empower them with the tools they need to cultivate their happiest and best life. Today I wanted to talk about a question that I get asked often as a mindset coach, especially a mindset coach that focuses on cultivating a more happy and positive mindset, and that is, how do you stay positive when negative people and things are surrounding you in your life? How do you stop being affected by negative people and negative circumstances in your life? How do you maintain your positive and happy mindset? So I can't tell you how many times I get this question as a mindset coach whenever I'm talking to people, even in a casual setting, about mindset work and how you can utilize it to create a happier and better life for yourself. One of the biggest questions that people ask me is, how do you stop negative things happening to you in your life from affecting your mood and your happiness? And it's a really good question, because when I first started my mindset and wellness journey, I definitely dealt with this too. I personally started from a place of having really chronic anxiety, dealing with a bunch of health issues, with digestive issues, and feeling really bad almost every single day. So you can imagine that I really had to dive into mindset work to really refocus my energy and my thoughts when these negative things would come up in my life. So that's why I wanted to address this topic today. It is so important, and it's something that I'm really excited to talk about. So let's dive into it. So one of the first things I did when I wanted to stop letting negativity and negative things be such a constant in my life was I was really aware of the things that I was consuming in my daily life. So the TV shows I was watching, the social media that I was participating in, all of those things, if you're not aware to them, can actually contribute to more negativity in your life, because you're consuming things every single day that you may not even be aware have a negative connotation to them, and you're just doing them because they're a normal part of life. There's something you've been doing for years. It's something that people around you do all the time, so you just see it as normal. But when you actually start doing the work and waking up to the patterns that you have developed and the habits that you've developed over your life, you can actually realize that there's a lot of unnecessary negative things that you participate in life that you could actually cut right out of your life. So that was one of the things I focused on when I was first focusing on getting all the negativity that I could removed out of my life. The second thing is that you have to manage your stress. You have to get control over your stress and your anxiety. For me personally, it was anxiety, but stress and anxiety kind of live in that same realm. So whether you struggle with anxiety or stress, you really need to get control of that if you're going to not let negative things in your world affect you as much. So what happens when you learn to process your negative emotions in a better and more healthy way? When you know how to process stress better, when you know how to handle anxiety better, outside circumstances in your life don't affect you as much. And that's something that I found on my journey personally. So when I used to be in a place where I was really chronically anxious, it could just take one little thing to set me off, whether it made me angry or sad or upset. It really didn't take much to that teeter-totter of me being in a kind of okay place to me being in a full out negative, angry, moody place, whatever you want to call it. It was in a negative place, and it didn't take much to get me there. The more I started to reduce anxiety as much as I can and reduce stress as much as I can through the techniques that I learned, I realized that little things happening in my life that were negative, like getting cut off when you're driving in traffic or somebody butting you in line, those little things that would set me off and really make my attitude turn negative really fast, just didn't affect me anymore, because I spent so much of my time working on my mindset, managing my stress. And when you have a healthier, more balanced nervous system and your stress and anxiety levels are at a normal level, the more those little negative triggers don't really affect you as much anymore. So managing your anxiety and stress was definitely a big component to getting over the hurdles of negative things happening in your life and not being as affected by them. So the third thing is creating more emotional resilience, aka more emotional control. So emotional control is having the ability to be able to react to stressful or negative or anxiety inducing situations in a more controlled and healthy way, so that your reactions aren't as reactionary and you don't go from being way over here to being way over here. So you cultivate more control when it comes to how you react to things in your life. I wanted to use an example so you better understand how all of this emotional resilience works. So let's say, for example, you are having a really bad day at work. You got yelled at by your boss, your coworker was being annoying, you were driving home, you got cut off in traffic. So by the time you get home that day, you just have so many negative things that have happened in your day. If your spouse then asks you a question about dinner, maybe it's just a simple question like, are you making dinner soon? When is dinner? And that completely sets you off, and that makes you go on a rampage. You start blaming your spouse for, irritating you or saying that they should make dinner and to leave you alone. That is an example of somebody who has to build up their emotional resilience, because you are reacting to a situation in a very unhealthy way, in a way that shouldn't be as reactive as what you did in that situation. So someone, for example, on the opposite side who does have emotional resilience can experience negative things in their day and not react to them as disproportionately, because they have done the work to cultivate that emotional control. And that's really what emotional resilience is all about, is working on your emotional reaction to things, so that when negative things do happen in your life and in your day, you have the power to address them accordingly and to process those negative feelings and emotions in a healthy way, so that you can get back to being a healthier and happier version of you and not letting those little things take up all of your time and space in your mind. So on that opposite side of the story where you had a bad day at work and reacted negatively, now I want you to think of the flip side. Imagine a day where you just had a really great day. Maybe it was a weekend where you got away, or maybe it was on vacation and you were just feeling so good and everything was going your way during that day. You were feeling happy, you were feeling good, and then maybe you spilt a drink on yourself. Did you react as badly to that? So if you're on a vacation and let's say you're on the beach and you're soaking up the sun and you spill some of your drink on yourself, how is your reaction going to be to that? For most people, they'd probably just laugh it off. It's fine, not a big deal. And that's something I want you to realize, is that when you're in a more positive and happy mindset, little things like that don't set you off. So it's really a sign that you need to work on emotional resilience, because it is possible to have that nonchalant, oh, who cares feeling about something, instead of being so worked up and amped up about it. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're on vacation or if you're in the office. There's ways to work on your mindset so that you can have that same reaction in both situations. It doesn't matter. It's just about doing the work so that you can show up better in your life. So to not be bothered by the negative things in your life, it really requires you to build up emotional resilience so that you have better control and more power to react to the negative things that happen in your life, because we all know that negative things happen in life and it's something that we can't control. It's just a part of life. But something that we can always control is how we react to it. So the more healthy and balanced and stable our emotional response is, the better we can process through those emotions and get back to feeling better sooner. So I achieved emotional resilience by doing mindset work and actively working on myself through personal development. And the reason why this works so well is because all of the processes that you learn along your journey really allow you to control your reactions to things. You realize why you are a certain way you are, and that awareness really creates more power for yourself, because you know that the reason you're reacting to a certain situation is because of a certain belief you have or a certain habit that you have, and everything stems down to a reason behind it. So the more you're doing the work and you're going through those issues that you have, the greater emotional resilience that you develop, and the more you'll notice that things that used to bug you just don't bug you as much anymore. And I could share some personal experiences with you. So for example, if I used to be driving and somebody would cut me off, I would be that person that's skewing behind the wheel. I wasn't, the person that was aggressively honking so much. I sometimes would do that, but generally I would just stew behind the wheel and I would just get all tense and I would get angry and I would, say bad words and just kind of simmer in my anger and upsetness. And now that I'm at the place I am now, if somebody cuts me off, as long as nobody gets hurt, as long as there's no damage to anything, as long as that person and I am okay, then I really don't have a reason to overreact to the situation. Yes, it's not a favorable situation, but it's also not a situation that needs to get me all riled up and tensed up, because it's over. Nothing happened. Everybody was okay. So that's easily a situation that you can just move on from, and it doesn't have to affect your day. It doesn't have to take over all of your thoughts and your feelings, because it's just a little thing that happened in your day and it's not that big. And another thing I can use as an example is if I used to be cooking a meal and I drop something on the ground. That would be enough to set me off and make me so upset. There's nothing worse when you're in a negative and angry place already. When I was dealing with chronic anxiety, to just work on something and then just have it crash in front of your eyes, and just, that would make me so upset. And that's happened a few times for me. And now, for example, there was a time recently within the last couple months that I was cooking a nice fresh chicken breast, and it was so great. It was going to be my dinner. It was about dinner time. It's the time I normally eat, so I was hungry, and I put that chicken breast in the oven. It cooked up all nice. I took it out of the oven, and as I was putting it on a plate, the plate flipped over and it landed right on the ground. And in the past, I would have been so mad about that, but honestly, now I just laugh at things like that. I just think, oh, that's so silly, whatever. I'll just get something else ready for dinner that's faster, and that's the end of it. Something like that, I'm not going to let control my entire well-being and my emotional health just because of something that happened, because things happen in life all the time. Things happen that are inherently negative, and that's just a part of life, and we get to decide, as the person that we are, the person that we are living, how we react to those situations. And I know that can sound kind of tough, but what I can tell you is that doing the work, doing the emotional work, doing the mindset work, this is what it creates for you. It creates this mentality of being conscious of your feelings, being conscious of your mindset and how you feel. And you then get the power back and get to determine how something makes you feel. So if something is minuscule and you don't want it to ruin your day, you get to make the decision to not let it ruin your day. And it is the most empowering thing that you can do. It's something that I didn't realize would come out of doing mindset work and personal development work. I kind of went in completely blind because I didn't know what to expect. I was just hoping for the best. And that was one of the really great things that I got out of doing mindset work, is just knowing that I have the power to control how I feel, and I have the power to choose how I react to certain situations, and if I let certain things affect me negatively or not. That is such a great feeling to have. So that is something that I aspire for you to have as well. When you have emotional resilience and emotional control over how you feel, you gain so much more power back in your life, and you get to be in the driver's seat of your life instead of being in the passenger seat just on idle, watching everything happen around you and reacting to everything happening around you. You get to choose how you feel, and I can tell you there is no better feeling than that. And that's what I love about mindset work, because working on things such as emotional resilience are just so beneficial to our overall well-being, and I honestly feel like you're doing a disservice to yourself if you don't learn about these things and if you don't learn how to process your emotions better, because it really sets you up to be in a bad place for when those negative things do happen. So if you can empower yourself to react better to situations like that, just imagine how much better and more positive your life can be. So now you're probably wondering, how do I actually create this emotional resilience for myself? How do I actually stop reacting so negatively to the things that are happening in my life? And what I want you to know is that I help you do this in the new course that I am creating called Shift Your Mindset 101. I cultivated this course just for women like you who struggle with anxiety on a daily basis, who struggle with negative thoughts and can't seem to get over them, who struggle with comparison and comparing themselves to others, and just wanting the secrets and wanting to know how to live a happier and healthier and better life. This course is for you. So I will put a link down below for you, and it is a link to sign up for the waiting list for the course if you're interested in learning more. The link will go over the course in a little more an in-depth overview so you can understand what the course will involve. But essentially, it's about empowering you to gain control back over your life, gain control back over your feelings so that you can live the life that you want. So if that's interesting to you and that sounds amazing to you, click the link below and I'd love for you to learn more, and I'd love to connect with you if you have any further questions or further interest in the course. Alright, so that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so appreciative that you are here. I am so proud of you for watching this video and taking one step closer to becoming the best 2.0 version of you. And if you don't already follow me on Instagram, please go follow me there. I'm at Living My 2.0, and I want you to follow me there because I post content like this on a more regular basis, and you can get so much more tips and tricks for mindset work out of me there on my Instagram account, and I would be so happy to connect with you there as well. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.